In this video, we will study about the DNA replication. DNA replication is a biological process in which two new DNA replicas are formed from the parent DNA. See, this is the parent DNA molecule from which two new DNA replicas are formed. These two replicas which are formed are identical to each other. Okay. Now, I'm just going to give you the overall process of this DNA replication. For this to understand, we have to know the structure of the DNA molecule. So, the outer ring, this outer ring is made up of sugar phosphate backbone and the inner lines are nothing but the nucleotide bases. I'm just redrawing this into another structure for better understanding, which is called as single ladder structure of DNA molecule. Okay, this is what we call as ladder structure of DNA molecule. Here, this outer line is nothing but sugar phosphate backbone and the inner lines are the nucleotide bases. Now I am going to tell you an overview idea of how this DNA replication is made. Okay, now first of all, these two strands, you can see two strands over here. These two lines are two strands of the DNA molecule. These two strands are unwounded by means of an enzyme. Okay, the enzyme name is helicase. Helicase is an enzyme which is responsible for the unwinding of the strands of the DNA. Okay, by means of helicase, the strands are unwounded like this. Okay. So, the base pairs will be hanging like this. And now, how the new DNA is formed is, the base pair which is complementary to the base pair present on the template strand, we call this strands as template strands, okay, is complementary base pairs are added to the present base pairs, and then the new DNA molecule is formed. Okay, this is what the basic process of replication. Okay, first the replication strands are unwinded by means of an enzyme, and then the particular complementary nuclear base pairs are added, and then it is binded together to make up an DNA molecule. And it's very simple, isn't it? But it is the most significant and very important biological process which is taking place in our body. Okay, I will explain this in detail now. For this to understand, first we have to know what is complementary base pairing. Okay, complementary base pairing. So we all know that the DNA molecule is made up of nucleotide bases. Okay, so these lines in between are nucleotide bases. So what are all the nucleotide bases present here? Adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. Okay, so here the nucleotide bases are in a paired manner. Okay, this adenine is always paired with thymine and guanine is always paired with cytosine. See, the adenine is always paired with thymine by means of hydrogen bonds, as well guanine is always paired with cytosine by means of hydrogen bonds. Okay, this is called as complementary base pairing. So this will not be mismatched. So this pair will be always like this. So when a new strand is formed like this, okay, these are the templates, and now some new strands are formed. See, the complementary base pairs are added. For example, if the adenine is present here, thymine will be added here. If guanine is present here, cytosine will be added here. Like this, in the new strand, the templates which is that is the base pairs which is complementary to the nuclear base pair present will be added, and the new DNA molecule is present. Okay, so this is about the complementary base pairs which we have to keep in mind, where the pair will not be always mismatched. The second important important thing which we have to know about the DNA replication is direction. Okay, direction of the strand. So the direction is very much important over here. You can see this DNA. I'm just drawing this ladder structure for your better understanding. The structure will be always like this. The DNA have two directions. That is, one is 3' end and the another one is 5' end. See, these two strands are not parallel to each other. They are anti-parallel to each other. See, this runs from 3' end to 5' end, and this strand it runs from 5' end to 3' end. Okay. Why this direction is very important? Why we have to learn this direction is because there is another enzyme, okay, which is called as DNA polymerase. Okay, DNA polymerase is another important enzyme which is responsible for the addition of nucleotide bases. Okay, I told you, no, like adenine, if adenine is present in the template, thymine will be added, isn't it? That thymine nucleotide base will be added by the enzyme DNA polymerase. This DNA polymerase can only add the nucleotide bases to this 3' end. It cannot go and identify 5' end. It can only identify 3' end, and it can add the nucleotide base in the 3' end. So that the direction of this DNA strands are very important. Okay. So the DNA polymerase can able to add the nucleotide base pairs only at the 3' end of the DNA strand. Okay. And then next what is going to happening is this DNA polymerase will be adding the nucleotide bases to the 3' end. And please keep all these important points in your mind, and so that it will be very helpful for you to understand better about this. Now, I'm just going to explain you in detail about how the enzymes are acting. Okay. So I told you there are several enzymes acting upon this DNA replication. One of the first enzyme is helicase. Okay. We can give the sign of the helicase like this. Okay. The work of the helicase inside this is unwinding the strands. The second is DNA polymerase. So polymerase, we can give the symbol like this. Okay. The duty of the DNA polymerase is to add the nucleotide bases at 3' end of the DNA. See, it cannot able to identify 5' end. It can only identify 3' end. And another important about this DNA polymerase is this DNA polymerase cannot work by itself. Okay, it does not have any individuality. It cannot work by itself. It wants some guidance. Okay, so from where it can get a guidance is from another enzyme, primase. Okay, this primase will produce RNA primer. Okay, this RNA primer act as a guide for DNA polymerase. Okay, act as a guide. You understood? So there are two things about DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase can add the nucleotide bases only at the 3' end of the DNA strand. And the second one is it cannot act by itself. It cannot go and put some nucleotide in some scrap. Okay, it wants some guidance. It wants something leading before. So for that, this primase enzyme is going to help the DNA polymerase. How it is going to help the DNA polymerase? Primase will produce RNA primer. This RNA primer will lead the way, or it will show the way like a map to the DNA polymerase for the addition of the nucleotides bases in the DNA strand. Okay, got it? And then we are having two more enzymes which I will tell you at the end. Okay, now we will enter into the replication process. So the first thing is helicase is going to unwind this DNA, isn't it? I'm going to take a part of the DNA. Okay, here the DNA got unwounded. See, these nucleotides will be there like this. We'll give some space over here. Okay, so this looks like a fork, isn't it? So we call this picture as replication fork. Always DNA having what? Direction, isn't it? So these DNA strands are anti-parallel to each other. One starts from 3' end to 5' end. The other one starts from 5' end to 3' end. And I already told you DNA polymerase can only identify 3' end. Now here this helicase enzyme is acting upon this and it is unwinding it. Okay, now the strand got unwounded. Now whose role is DNA polymerase role? Okay, now this DNA polymerase enter inside. Okay, but this DNA polymerase can able to add the nucleotide at the 3' end, isn't it? But what is the thing? DNA polymerase wants some guidance. So the guidance is given by whom? The guidance is given by RNA primer, isn't it? So this is the primase enzyme. Okay, we can give the symbol like this. This is the primase enzyme. Primase enzyme will produce RNA primer, which will show or which will guide the DNA polymerase to add the nucleotide in the DNA strand. Now you can see here I am just taking this first strand. Okay, see, this first strand is called as leading strand. Okay, why we are calling this leading strand is, see, this helicase is going in this direction, 3' to 5'. As well, the DNA polymerase is also going to add its nucleotide in 3' to 5', isn't it? So that there is no controversy at all. It is very clear and the leading strand is simply formed like that. Okay. So first of all, the leading strand, what happens is the primase will go and act. Okay, this is 3' and this is 5'. Primase will go and act and it will add some, see, it will add some primers, okay, which are called as RNA primers. Okay, see, this DNA polymerase, it cannot simply add its nucleotide from here. Okay, it cannot identify this. So before the DNA polymerase, to help the DNA polymerase, this primase will act upon and give RNA primers. After this RNA primers have been acted upon, then DNA polymerase will add the complementary base pairs. Okay, you can see here the complementary base pairs are added like this and then new strand is formed. You understood? Okay, this is all about leading strand. Leading strand, no problem at all. But in the case of lagging strand, it is a little different. Lagging strand means the second strand. Okay, I'm just clean this and explain you the next one. This is the lagging strand. Why we call this lagging strand, I will tell you. Okay, see, this strand, it starts from 5' end to 3' end, isn't it? And the helicase is acting like this. But we all know that DNA polymerase can only identify 3' end, isn't it? So DNA polymerase, it is acting from different direction. From here only it could able to activate itself, isn't it? So DNA polymerase is acting in this direction, but helicase is acting in this direction, isn't it? So both are controversial, isn't it? So what happens is, in the lagging strand, like the leading strand, it cannot able to form a strand continuously. Okay, this is a discontinuous strand. That's why we call it as lagging strand. Okay, so when this DNA polymerase is acting upon, this primase comes into its role and it gives some primers here, RNA primers, and then from that RNA primers, DNA polymerase will add the nucleotide, isn't it? So this will be like this. It will be breaking. Okay, see here you can see here you can see a continuous form of strand is formed, but in this case like this it has been broken like this. Okay, so that we call this as lagging strand. Okay, why it is so? It is very important to know why it is so. Is the DNA polymerase acting upon one direction and the helicase is unwinding the DNA in an opposite direction. Okay, so the controversial comes into place. That's why this is lagging strand. Okay, so this is leading strand and this is lagging strand, and we have to give this fragments a name, right? The name of this fragment is Okazaki fragment. Okazaki fragment. Okay, these small fragments are called as Okazaki fragments. Okay, so anyways it doesn't matter if it is cut, if it is a fragment or if it is a leading strand, it doesn't matter. It is going to bind anyways, isn't it? But the thing is, here you can see there is a space in between, right? There is a space. This space has to be removed. Only then the fragments can able to join together. So who is going to remove this place? Who is going to remove this place is, it is an enzyme called as exonuclease. Okay, exonuclease is the enzyme which is going to remove the space between the lagging strand. Okay, now the exonuclease, what it does? This exonuclease, it will remove the space between the strands like this. It is going to, now this space has been removed. Okay, now who is going to seal here? This has to be sealed, isn't it? This has to be joined. This is joined by another enzyme called as DNA ligase. Okay, DNA ligase is another enzyme which is going to join this strand. And exonuclease is an enzyme which is removing the space over here. Okay, and this space is joined by, or what, it is like a gum. Okay, it is joined by the enzyme called as DNA ligase, and so that a new DNA strand is formed. Okay, understood? This is what the overall process. The overall enzymes used is, one is helicase, which is used to unwind. Then DNA polymerase is used to put the new nucleotide base pairs. But the DNA polymerase can only able to go and find at the 3' primer, isn't it? 3' end of the strand, and then primase is the enzyme which gives space for the RNA primer, and RNA primer is like a guide for DNA polymerase. When the RNA primer comes into the strand, DNA polymerase starts adding upon the complementary nucleotide base pairs in the strand, and then what happens? And then in the second strand, which is the lagging strand, why it is lagging strand? Because the DNA polymerase and the helicase, it acts in the opposite direction, isn't it? What is that? You can understand, I think. Okay, it is an imaginary thing. You can think. See, helicase is unwinding and DNA polymerase is putting upon the, it is adding upon, isn't it? But it is both are acting in the opposite path. So what happens? The fragments will be like, it will be small fragments. It won't be continuous. Okay, that's why we call this as lagging strand. Then these small fragments are named as Okazaki fragments. And then there will be gap between the Okazaki fragments. Those gap is removed by means of an enzyme called as exonuclease. And then the fragments are sealed together by means of the enzyme called as DNA ligase. And so that the two DNA replicas are formed. Okay, thank you.